Yeah, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. This is your home girl. I'm Barbosa. And 914 Westchester County, New York, coming to you with another live video. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. It's 1:40 in the morning. It's 1:40 in the morning. And we got some people that have been on the YouTubes doing live videos. Me personally, I don't understand why anyone would sit on a YouTube channel doing any type of video for more than 2 hours, 3 hours. Shout out to the chat, because you would think and you would assume that within maybe 30 minutes to an hour, they would have gotten their point across. You know what I mean? And it's the same old, playing other people's content. See, over here on this channel, I don't play other people's content. I don't review it. I might talk about it, but I don't review it. I don't show it on my screen. I don't care about what other people are talking about too much, unless I keep hearing the same reaction over and over and over again. You know, it is what it is. 914, which is the County, New York. We are definitely in the house right now. We only got a few hours before I actually have to get up and participate in my life and participate in the day and to participate in the first steps of this week. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Yeah, this is your home girl. Arabia Barbosa. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on in this sector of the YouTube. There's a lot happening. The YouTube streets are fierce. YouTube is a battlefield. It has always been a battlefield ever since I came to the YouTube streets back in 2013. This is now what? 2026. Yeah, so it's amazing to me how, and people will call doing certain videos content. Gossiping about someone is not content. False flagging someone is not content. Doxing someone is not content. And like I said, when Lonnie was live earlier and she had dropped the link, because the link was actually pinned in the chat comment section, and I had hit the link, and I said on the mic that Kevlo would need to go ahead and apologize. He should apologize, but he's not going to apologize to Farmer Nancy because of his ego. Now, there's a posting that he may be leaving the YouTubes to venture off into his business, to his different businesses, to operate those different businesses. He should have did that. He should have never came to the YouTubes, because he was not a help to anyone. The man is a liar. He's a scammer. A Center X/preacher. I don't see how you can do one video on your whole channel and talking about you changed, but you really haven't. You're the same piece of shit you was when you first arrived to the YouTube streets. Shout out to my opinion. That's my fucking opinion. I don't give a fuck if Kevlo disappeared off the YouTubes. Goody. I don't give a fuck if Beautiful One disappears from off the YouTubes. good, goody. Yeah. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. That's the way I feel. That's my point of view. And there is going to come a time where I don't know where people get off. Well, people going to do what they want to do. No one is in control of anyone on this platform. Nobody. Nobody is in control of anyone on this platform. What's up, Draco? Draco, I had to do a long pause right there because I wanted to look at the chat for a few minutes. Yeah, but that's my honest opinion about the whole thing. The beautiful one thing and the Kevlo, the garbage disposal thing on the YouTubes. And I don't mean no harm. I wish all the Kwamites would fucking get off of YouTube. I wish all of them would fucking disappear. I really do. I don't know why any of those people are here on the YouTubes. I don't know why they're trying to make content. I don't know what's up with that. You know? It is what it is. It definitely is what it is. I was going over some of the Tanya TKO videos that she did a couple of years ago when she conducted her GoFundMe. Now, we got some people on this app who are talking disparagingly about Farmer Nancy. And not one of those people, not all those people that are talking negative about her in a disparaging way, none of these people go to her channel and actually see any of her content. They don't watch her channel. They don't go over there. She invites everyone to go over there. You know what I mean? Word. You're just gonna be not everybody's cup of tea. Everyone is not gonna be a fan. Everyone is not gonna be a groupie. But I've been noticing that it's been happening to Farmer Nancy for quite some time, a couple of years now, where there has been a lot of hate being thrown her way. And we see that every road leads back to Kwame Brown. We see that. Everyone sees that. And if people say they don't see it, that's because they don't want to see it. Stevie Wonder can see what's going on in the sector. Ray Charles, if he was living, he would be able to see what's going on in this fucking sector. And people just don't fool me at all. You know what I mean? Word. Shout out to Farmer Nancy. Shout out to her. You know, it is what it is. And that's my honest opinion. This is my honest opinion. I think that in her wanting to raise funds for this farm situation, she probably would get along better without having the bishop in tow. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe that. I do. His approach on dealing with people on this YouTube's is not a healthy one. It's not healthy at all. Matter of fact, it's very destructive because Iceberg did a video concerning the bishop today, and it looks like there's a lot of people in this sector that really don't care for Bishop at all. They don't care for him. They don't respect him. They think he's a weirdo. They think he's a creep. They think that he shouldn't be on the YouTubes at all. There's a lot of people that are speaking out against Bishop. And Bishop should have known that these people existed because he put a bad taste in people's mouth. He really did. And I said the other day that I will no longer be supporting Bishop, and I'm not going to support anyone that is sitting in the chair that he's sitting in. Because nowhere in the world are you going to get on the mic and start yelling at people or trying to intimidate people. And you got to remember that people did call him the baby oil bishop for a long period of time because he had that exchange with another YouTuber on this app that was unfavorable. And these are just my opinions. This is my point of view. These are my random thoughts. It is what it is. And I don't think I'm going to change my mind about this one. Because we have come across people on this app that, I don't know, maybe should never came to this app, should came to this sector. Or if they saw the stuff that was going on in this sector, if they didn't like it, it is what it is. This sector is going to be the way it is. It's on the verge of major collapse anyway. It really is. Because of who's in the sector and what kind of content is being pushed out. And if you hear the same garbage every day, it affects you subconsciously. It goes right into your subconscious. And there are people who are concerned about what people do in the privacy of their own homes and their own bedroom. And that's unfortunate. Those type of people are weirdos. Those type of people are creeps. And they exist on this platform. I'm just starting to think and starting to see that there's just certain things that people are gonna be putting up with that they have been putting up with for quite some time. Especially when it comes to the rhetoric that's happening between the males and the females, or should I say, the men and the women in this sector. And it's a known fact that the women YouTube creators don't get as much support as some of the male YouTube creators. The same thing happens in the music industry. The same thing happens in Hollywood. The same thing happens in real life. Because a lot of you were born into families where male children are more valued than girls. And that's a fact. If you were born a boy in certain black families, you were more valued, you were more respected, you were more loved than a female child. And that's a reality. In history, it's the same thing. When a woman is persecuted for any reason at all, it's usually an overdrive to actually eliminate that woman. We've seen it in history over and over again. And the perfect example of what I'm thinking about is one of the wives of King Henry VIII. It is the second wife of King Henry VIII. Her name was Anne Boleyn. He did not divorce Anne Boleyn. He had her charged up on trumped up charges, and he had her executed. And that's a fucking reality. Yo, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat, man. And that's my honest opinion. I would be glad when Kevlo leave the YouTubes, and I would be glad when Beautiful One leaves. They're both troublemakers. She came over into the sector just causing problems and trouble. I know there's a lot of people that like Flo in this sector. I don't give a fuck who likes him. I don't like him. I don't like him. And I never liked him. I don't like him. I don't like TJ. I don't like Garrett. I don't like Predator 101. I don't like Damn D. I don't like none of them Quamites. I don't like none of them clowns. Shout out to the chat. And that's just a reality. We got people in the chat right now. Yeah, I wonder how many people are in this chat, that probably agree with me or disagree with me. You know what I mean? Word. For real, for real. Because if we're all adults, shouldn't we be able to agree to disagree? I don't know. It's not looking too good for us in the sector. 1, 2, 3, 4. According to this, there's 4 people in the chat. And it looks like everybody that's in my chat gets along with each other. Everyone that comes over here gets along with each other. When I do my StreamYards and I drop my link, it just seems like the vibe in this chat is different from the vibe in other chats. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Because every content creator is different. Every content creator is different. I used to go live, 3 o'clock in the morning. From 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, maybe 4:30. Right, Just Jay? Because Just Jay used to ride with me in the mornings. And we did that for how long, Just Jay? How many months? Because it was you, Mika, Not Worth It, Dialogue with Me TV, and Simset, and a few others. They used to come early in the morning. Lonnie, all y'all. Then later on, like if I went live, then other people would come in. Letitia has always been with me. When I had my other channel. Remember that, Letitia? Shout out to the chat. What's up, Lovelace? Yo, Lovelace, you tripped me out today. Yeah, I looked at that video for a little bit. Word. Yeah, man. That's how you discover things. That's how you discover things. Even things you didn't want to know. Either you didn't want to know it, or you had some kind of confirmation about something. So you don't just stay in one little area, you venture out. And I venture out all over these YouTube streets. Sometimes I come out of this sector and I go elsewhere. Oh, I feel you, Letitia. Shout out to you. What do you mean, what video, Lovelace? You was in the video. You was on the panel on that channel today. Iceberg. Thoughts. That's which video. That's how I was able to see all the people that disapprove of Bishop. It kind of reminds me of a few other times where some things happen in this sector. And I'm not talking about in a few years ago or nothing like that. I'm talking about like when I first came to the YouTubes. But YouTubes was different back then. It really was. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Hey, what's up, Breeze Omega? Good to see you. I hope everything is well. I hope that snow didn't drive you too crazy. Yeah, we had snow, Breeze Omega, but the snow melted the very next day. See, I don't live in New York anymore, Breeze Omega. I live in South Carolina, and I've been living here for like 10 years now, over 10 years. So the weather down here is a little bit different. But, I caught me a head cold from dealing with 70-degree weather until that shit was dropping, down to, the 20s. So imagine 1 week it's 70-something degrees, and the next week it's 20-something degrees in the morning. It might be 34 degrees this morning, and then before I get home this afternoon, it'll be 50-something degrees. Shout out to the chat. Oh, you in Virginia? Oh, I feel you. Yeah, I've never known Virginia to get snow like that. I was living in Newport News, Virginia, 2011 to 2012. Just a few months, a good 90 days. And then I went back to New York. Shout out to the chat. It's been what, 9 degrees up there? Oh God. Cause I heard Lonnie One Love, the Empress, cause she lives in Philadelphia, and she was saying it was 7 degrees this morning when she went out. Yeah, this is just before she went out to go to the gym. She said it was 7 degrees outside. I said, oh my God. I do not miss that weather at all. I do not miss it. I do not miss it. But I just don't see myself in the next 10 years being in the South and trying to retire down here, because they don't like to give you uh, your Social Security in full, which is supposed to begin. Only in the northern states do they do that. Shout out to the chat. Oh, you love this weather, Letitia? Okay. Well, you live in Texas, Letitia. So, that weather out there is something. Yeah. So everyone's been complaining about the weather. Did everyone see what Donald Trump did on his social media page, or whatever what social media he's using, where he depicted the Obamas as being monkeys? I thought that was so disgusting. That was really disgusting. But that just goes to show, and he's not the only one that thinks that way. This country is really something. I'm not gonna get up here and say, oh, this is the worst country in the whole world and they just so racist. They are racist as fuck. Yes, we know about their racism, but we've been dealing with it for so long. I just discovered a video today about a lady named Mama Tingle. And Mama Tingle was from the Dominican Republic, and how she was a farmer and she was an activist. And there was a landowner, a person that bought a good portion of land in the Dominican Republic and tried to push over 300 people off the land. And they had been working on the land for generations. And they were just getting ready to win their case in court. And someone outside and told her to go home. There was an emergency at the home. She went back to the home. And the dude that was out there waiting for her, he shot her twice. Once in the head and once in her chest area. He killed her. I tell you, man, we living in a world where they just totally tell us to our face that they hate us, whether we're FBA or TETA. It ain't gonna matter about none of that shit. It don't matter now. They see all black people as being the same, even though we're not all the same. We're not. I'm not gonna sit here and say that we are. Hey, Just Jay. Shout out to you. Yo, I saw your premiere. You were talking about the AI programs. Girl, don't you know they trying to get the AI programs to replace human beings working on the jobs? And since they're trying to push for, and you know what, you guys? I don't know if y'all remember that movie that Will Smith was in a few years ago. It was called I Am Legend. Remember Vicky? Remember Vicky? And Just Jay, shout out to you for doing that video because you is right. Uh, these computer programs are telling people the wrong information, and I was very shocked. I was very shocked to hear that one of the AI programs told a young man to unalive himself. Just Jay, your premiere was very good. Thank you for doing it. Shout out to you. Y'all need to go over there and check out Just Jay's premiere if you haven't seen it. Yeah, they taking over the trucking industry. Just Jay and a few, I would say, let's see, I'm 52 right now. I would say by the time I'm, I want to say by the time I'm 55 or 56 years old, uh, ain't too many human beings gonna have jobs. That's why they're building all these different prisons. We got 6 different states building prisons, and they're using the epidemic money to do it. And I heard that there's a disease that's overseas, it's in another country, in these other countries, and it's more deadly than the corona. That's what I heard. I don't think it's reached this country yet, but you know how shit happens. And all this is by design. Ain't none of this by accident. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. Yeah, don't worry, Just Jay. That video was long enough. I said, what? I started listening to that video and looking at the graphics. And I said, well, she's giving out some really good information. You know? Instead of fighting with the other YouTube creators and just forget about them losers. Just go ahead and do your content like the way you was doing before all that bullshit started happening. You know? You're real good at what you're doing. And you keep going. And when they come for you, just ignore their asses and just do your fucking content. Cause that's what they want. They want to get you off your square. Shout out to the chat. If that makes sense. So in this chat is Purple Heart Podcast, aka Just Jay, Letitia Third Eye, Draco, Breeze Omega, and Lovelace. Yeah. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, thanks a lot. Purple Heart Podcast, aka Just Jay. Yeah, I appreciate it. That's how Lonnie comes in. When Lonnie comes into this chat, she uses both of her channels. And she always hits the like button. Coco Tasso, the like button, double tap the screen, everyone. Double tap the screen. Let's see. I'm looking at something, checking something out. Oh, what's up, Simset? Yeah, what's up, Simset? Yo, shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. Yeah. Basically, that's all I had to say in this video. You know? Shout out to Farmer Nancy. Shout out to my most of my YouTube creators, most of them. Not all. Shout out to everyone that's in my chat. Shout out to my moderators. Shout out to my subscribers, new and old. Shout out to my support team. Yeah. Yeah, it's close to 2 o'clock in the morning if it's not 2 o'clock already. Oh, I know that's right, Just Jay. Yeah, man. In a little while, ain't nobody gonna have a job nowhere. The homeless population is gonna continue to grow. And they're building the prisons. And the new prisons that they're building, they're gonna be run by computers and AI. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're not actually building prisons, but they're building death camps. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. Oh, it's 1:15 there, so that means it's like 2:15 here. Oh, shout out to you, Just Jay. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, that's mine. But the things I'm saying in this video, those are my opinions. Those are my private thoughts, my random thoughts, my point of view. And what I'm saying is no reflection on anyone else. Because people like to get shit twisted and like to be like, well, X, Y, and Z be in your chat. Don't worry about who be in my chat. Because, like, a lot of people, a lot of haters, they like to worry about who be in people chat. And they don't need to be concerned about that. They need to be concerned about what kind of content they putting out there. And most of the content that's in this sector is garbage content or recycled. You know what I mean? Now, I'm going to give my shout outs to Moonlight. I'm going to give my shout outs to Lonnie. I'm going to give my shout outs to Sister T. You know? I'm going to give my shout outs. I'm going to give my shout outs to Just Jay. I'm going to give my shout outs to Miss V. I'm going to give my shout outs to Fats TV. I do like Fats. Shout out to OSD. Even though I can't really sit for a whole hour and watch his videos because it's just something about his voice that just puts me to sleep. I be listening to him, and I be so serious and listening to OSD, and the next thing I know, my eyelids have closed. Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat. There's one YouTube creator I have, right? It's a male YouTube creator. When he talks, immediately I feel like I'm in a ASMR video. And I just feel good just listening to him talk. You know what I mean? When Lonnie talks, Lonnie breaks down shit. She breaks it down so you can understand. Moonlight, she likes to have fun. She'll be serious, but she likes to have fun. Shout out to Moonlight. I was in Moonlight's chat today. I don't think I was as entertained today as I was yesterday. So it might have been a different kind of subject she was talking about today. I didn't really pay too much attention anyway. One day you got the taste for it, and the next day you probably don't. That's the way I am. Oh, it's boring. I wouldn't say that. I would say when I'm listening to him talk, he be talking, and then the next thing I know, I be asleep. I be asleep. It don't matter who's on the panel. It don't matter what's going on. Anytime I listen to an OSD video, I be asleep. I be all right for a little bit, and I be up and looking and all alert, and then the next thing I know, my eyelids get heavy, and there's like some kind of spell just comes over me. I said, "Oh hell no, I gotta wake up." Shout out to the chat. Yo, I'm out of here. I want to thank everyone for coming over. I want to thank everyone for visiting with me. Yo, double tap that screen. Please double tap the screen for me, please. Because that'll give me a like. And hit the Cash App. $Arabia 914. Yeah, shout out to the chat. Like and share the video. Yeah. And I hope everyone has an awesome day. I hope everyone has an awesome work week. Today is Monday. Today is what? February the 9th? Today is February the 9th. I didn't do my taxes this week. So I know I'm going to end up doing them before the end of this month. Oh, I tell you. If it ain't one thing, it's another. I got some business I got to handle today. It has to be done today. Because I got to do a lot of talking today. Yeah. And a few more hours. I don't think I'm going to take the bus this morning. I think I'm just going to walk downtown and take the bus back. You know what I mean? Because where I'm going today is not the dispatch office. I'm going somewhere new and different today. Well, actually, I've been there before. But, yeah, I got some stuff I got to handle today. It wasn't handled last week, because shit happens. That's why one of my cousins, a couple of years ago, he used to tell me about these jobs. He'd be like, man, shit. He said, Ray, I don't know what to tell you about the working world anymore. Because it's so unstable. It used to be stable, but now it's unstable. You know what I mean? Word. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Yeah, man. I think he was making a certain amount of money a week by selling drugs. I think he was making a certain amount of money a week just by selling drugs. Yeah, man. He didn't work no regular job. He didn't work at all. He said, number one, none of the jobs would pay him enough. And number two, all his money was tax-free. And number three, he could put as much money as he wanted in the bank or not. You know what I mean? He was one of those types. He would make the money, pay for the re-up, and then bank some of his money. I remember him doing that. Yeah. I remember him doing that. But everything he said about those jobs, even if it's a part-time job, a full-time job, a temporary job, everything he said about those jobs is true. It's true. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Nah, Sim said, I see all your comments. Ain't nobody erased nothing. I see your comment about OSD being so boring. Yeah, because I'm going to tell you about tax season. When I first came to South Carolina a couple of years ago, Just Jay, and I had did my taxes, you got to remember, I was working before I came down here, right? So when I started working, excuse me, down here, I made a certain amount of money. So my tax season for that year was pretty good. But as time went on, my money became less and less. You know what I mean? Word. The only time I really had a good tax season is when I was still working on the Walmart ticket and when I had the dishwashing job for a little while. Yeah. That's the only time my tax money was a little bit decent. It could have been better, but it wasn't. Shout out to, if that makes sense. Yeah. But Sim said, I see all your comments. None of your comments been erased. Shout out to the chat. I'm out of here, you guys. We'll see each other in another video. Hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day. Peace. One.